All right, and let's get this one going here. All right, you guys ready? Here we go.
Hola, YouTube.
What's up?
Welcome to Sexual Frequency, a non judgmental place where we can play, explore, and vibe into the new paradigm of intimacy and sexuality together. We are still celebrating Kinktober, baby, and we have such a treat for you tonight because, yes, they are back. The daddies of the Good News Network. They are never ashy, always moisturized. Help us welcome TJ and DC. They are the handsome, beautiful unicorn men from Just a Dope Ass Podcast. Hey, aplausos, por favor.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
How are we doing tonight, gentlemen?
Good title.
I mean, with the great introduction, my nipples are hard now.
Yeah, like I'm a TGN. That's gotta be. Those are shirts now. We gotta
Yep,
get
TGN Daddies. Yeah, but there's only 2 made because nobody else can have one besides us 2.
Yeah, man. It's like, damn. Sorry to y'all, man.
I mean, we'll make one. We'll TGN fathers for the rest of you. We're the TGN Daddies. Screw the rest of y'all.
You guys have been baptized as the TGN Daddies for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And I have a little confession because Keith FaceTimed me last week and I got on the FaceTime and he says, we have beef. And I said,
jelly.
oh shit.
He was
Oh,
big
shit.
jelly.
He heard about the TGN Daddies.
Big
Wait.
jelly.
And he was with my cow. And then my cow goes, I have beef with you too. And I
Yikes.
said, oh shit. Oh no, it's going
Look
down.
here. Y'all might have beef with her because of this, but you don't want smoke. So let it go.
That's tough.
The beef was something completely
They'll get over
not
it.
that related. It was not TG and Daddy related, but I thought it fucking made me laugh so much that that's the shit that came to my head, right?
Oh, they're gonna be mad.
They're gonna be mad.
So they weren't mad?
They weren't mad. I don't think they know until we put the promo out that the
So, like I said, either they don't want smoke, or they understand it just as much as you do, which
Oh,
solidifies
I
our title even
mean,
more.
you
Like,
know.
yeah, they are. Yeah, they
Yikes.
are them dudes. They are them dudes.
Yikes.
Listen, how can you guys not be the daddies when I hit up the chat and I said, where are my kinksters at? Who's going to come through for Kinktober? And you guys were the only ones who responded and were like, yep, we're here. TJ was like ripping his shirt off with oil all over, sending
Word.
wrestling memes. Like,
Word.
come on, that's that energy. That's that like dominant, like let me teach you some things energy, and I'm all for it. That's
I
something to
feel
say.
like everybody probably expected us to beckon that call.
That's true. So like,
I mean-
like who else besides
Yeah.
us? I mean, there's a couple people that probably could weigh in on the conversation throughout the month.
I think everybody could weigh in, man. I think the entire chat could weigh in.
I think they can, but when it comes to actually doing it, there may be only outside of us, maybe a couple other people at best, maybe 1 or 2 people.
And we will not get into that list tonight. That
Since y'all not kinky
will be an
enough.
off-air conversation.
Doesn't matter
for
if they-
us to have.
Right. If they mattered, they would have showed up. So they officially don't matter. The month is over and they're finishing with us. So
You
you
said
missed your
that.
chance.
But listen, you have to answer the call because when it's your essence and it's just part of who you are, it just makes sense, right? I'm just saying. Even though I felt like I was in trouble when I named our chat TGN Daddies, I was like, oh man,
No trouble from here.
I am sexualizing that. I need to stop. I need to, But then I thought about it and I said, no, this is the energy that they have. They are a strong presence, at least in my book. Like, I listen to you guys. I admire the stuff that you're putting out there. I'm learning from y'all. So
Thank you.
listen, come on. We're going to get more into that later, but You know that I don't come alone, baby. Rick Rock with the hard cock. How you doing tonight, boo?
What's up, Mama? I'm doing all right.
You doing
I'm
good?
doing good.
We feeling this daddy energy in here. This
Right.
dominant energy. So
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It's gonna be a good show. We ready?
It's definitely going to be a good show. And before we get started, Rick, let the people know what time it is.
That's right. It's that pre-roll time.
Yes, you know how we do it here at Sexual Frequency, baby. This episode is sponsored by Therapy for Latinx, a national directory to find mental health professionals that honor who you are, provide service with dignity, and are culturally aware. If you are a therapist looking to join the directory or an individual seeking a mental health professional, you can find them on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Instagram at Therapy for Latinx. That's FORLATINX. You know what? Just be good, be better, find a therapist.
That's right.
Right.
I have
I
a
mean,
question. I have a question
yes,
for that
yes.
since that's the sponsor.
Yeah.
Do I have to be a cultural member to be a therapist? There.
So that's a question for
I know.
when you contact them. I imagine that you would just have to be culturally, sensitive.
Culturally competent, yes.
Yeah,
that's
culturally
something that we
competent.
should be. That's kind of like part of our credence. Is like we're supposed to be
Yes.
culturally competent, but it's a whole lot of white folk that ain't necessarily. They trying. Some of the we have a
Yes.
space where a lot are trying, but they just really may not understand how they don't.
Absolutely. Listen, my therapist is like a 76-year-old white Jewish woman.
Yikes!
And she's dope as fuck, actually. Like, so there's some people out there, who are
No.
doing the
There are
work.
some people like you
Yeah.
can. There's definitely people that can advocate. There's definitely people that have been supporters for a long period
Yes.
of time. But I more so mean yikes as far as like
Those are some heavy
That's-
stats.
that's what I have to
she's a
choose
rarity.
from.
Like you saying those
Like-
stats, I'm like, ooh.
Look, she's a rarity, and not just that. I didn't even know that she was also a sex therapist.
That's
This
cool.
doesn't
That
get
sounds about
revealed
right.
to me later till we start talking about like experiences I'm having in the kink world. And she's like, "Oh, I'm a sex therapist too." And I was like,
That actually sounds about right.
"Let's
to be
unpack
honest.
this."
That's a twofer. Do you have to pay double for walking to a therapist and she teaches you breathing techniques? And it's like, look, you have to use them because when it get to the elbow, it's the inhale that gets you. You know what I mean? So
What's the safe word?
Oh no, he said the elbow. I mean, I knew y'all were filthy. I knew y'all were deplorable. But the elbow,
Could deeper be a safe word?
no. No.
that's
Listen,
playing with fire. Goddamn it. Like,
that is playing with fire.
You have to have a lot of control.
Absolutely.
Oh.
We talked about safe words a couple episodes ago, and my friend said, "Oh, my safe word is mercy," and I said, If I'm saying mercy to me in a scene, that means like you better fuck me better than what we're doing right now. Like that to me doesn't say stop. Like that to me just enhances the play. So I've yet to have a safe word besides the double tap. But I just do the double tap.
Yeah, mercy is dangerous, depending if you like. If I'm trying to put her fucking head through the drywall, nigga, like mercy is like, like so you better say mercy, motherfucker.
No mercy. goddamn.
Yeah.
I
It's
mean,
labeled just ladders, tables, and chairs.
Right. Right.
well, so do you guys have safe words? I have to ask.
So here's how I'll answer that.
Oh shit.
There are no safe words.
Where we're going, we don't need
You
safe
don't
words.
need safe words.
I'll say I don't have a safe word,
Mhm.
but normally because, as you say, like dominant energy. If more times than not, if and when, and most
Mhm.
likely I will be in the dominant role within this dynamic that is going on in this
Right.
bedroom, I'm not using the safe word. The safe word is for you to let me know. So
Mhm.
I don't have one. You would have to tell me what yours is so
Mm.
that I can be
Okay.
aware.
Have you ever engaged with someone who you felt like, I don't normally need a safe word, but with this person, I might need one.
Now, all right now, goddammit. Enough.
Double tap.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever said like had a safe word. I don't do that. That's the best. That's like I'm good. Whoa. don't like you know just don't do that.
Is that
Like,
the
you was-
elbow?
It was good until like whoa. No, I never had to do like an elbow. There was one time where I had to like don't do that because
Oh,
it was
okay.
just like she was just like I was like okay cool. It was like grab cheeks and I guess she was like into butt stuff, but like the fingers kept going. I was like I didn't know what else to do. Like she caught me in the moment. I was young. This was like in college, and I didn't.
Wait. Her fingers were going into.
Yeah, she was trying to.
Okay,
She was
okay.
trying to get to the hole, and I'm just like, hey, I remember. Nah, you good. You just don't do that. Like I was trying to like just, you
Stop
good.
it right there.
And she just kept. And I was like, I didn't know what. Stop. Like I didn't. It was a quick forehead tap.
Oh shit! Forehead.
Yeah, I didn't like she,
Oh,
and I wasn't
okay.
trying to be rude. She just made. I stopped. I just, don't do that.
Okay, that works.
That was
Yeah, I don't know. I might choke. Like I'll choke. Like if you're doing something that you don't need to be doing, I'll grab the neck and I'll position you.
Oh
Mm,
where
shit,
you
nigga!
need
I
to
was
be.
doing that already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like,
dangerous.
that's-
shit.
That's regular. So it's like I think the only time I may need that is like I've had a few times where somebody get to trying to suck extra hard on my neck, and it's like we're not together. Don't be trying to
Right.
leave marks. So
Yeah. No.
Oh no!
and I'm not gonna say
Yeah.
let me just redirect. I'm not gonna mess up your
Yeah.
groove. I'm just
I
gonna-
like that. Redirection is good, and then no, like y'all see what we're dealing with here. If this isn't daddy energy, I don't know what is. But before we keep going, I want to invite you to get close and personal with us. Join our live stream on Lotus Hustle Live and TGN Latinx YouTube, because baby, you do not want to miss all the goodies, all the goodness that is going on in this studio tonight. And you know what? Come and sit on my lap, baby girl, baby boy, baby they, them. We have room for everybody here at Sexual Frequency, because every part of you is welcome here. And you all know this already. We do not kink shame. Aside from October being Kink Month, it is also Pregnancy and Infancy Loss Awareness Month. And we want to honor those that have experienced this loss, especially the women, but also the families, and not to include the men who have gone through these experiences as well. It's really important that we heal as, you know, a family and as a tribe. I myself have gone through pregnancy loss, and my healing journey really led me to connect with my yoni and my divine feminine energy. This was a really transformational journey for me through my angel baby. I love you, BB. She's my baby girl in between my two boys. And I thank goodness for yoni eggs, because they were a powerful tool that I used to connect and transform through my grief and through this experience. If y'all want to know more about yoni eggs, please hit me up, because your girl's got you. And now we're gonna segue to the topic. I probably should have done that at the top before we got all,
No, I mean that
It all goes.
it all goes together. It all comes from the same interaction. Now I will say with that, because I've been through, at least I perceive that I've been through that experience, but that kind of leads into what I'm saying. If that is something like support one another thoroughly, because it is something that, whether it's expected or unexpected, is definitely important to be supportive of one another, but it's also something not to play with.
Absolutely.
Because I've had those trying to trap situations, and somebody lies about like, oh, well, I lost it. And it's like, you never had it, but that's not cool to play with that. So for those that actually have been through it, have a little empathy for their circumstances and their grief, because that is a loss. And don't use that as a nasty tactic to try to get yourself in the position that you want to be in. That's not cool.
Absolutely not. And I'm glad that you talked about that, because that's something that does not get, mentioned and talked about. And that's definitely something that men, when going through this experience, they need that support too. I mean, I don't know about the, deceit and lying shit. That's some other bullshit.
Yeah. That's
Contact some therapists for that, please. If you've ever been in that boat, just don't do it. It's not sexy. It's not going to get you anywhere. Not even a little bit.
Nope.
But before we get to the topic, Rick, what do we got going on in the chat?
All right, so we got the baddest is online. She's saying
The baddest.
you guys answered the King call like a Batman signal in the sky.
That's right.
And then she said,
Yes,
wait,
he did.
do what now with whose elbow?
My elbow. and it ain't going in me.
Hey man, I think Batman a kinky motherfucker, man. So I think
Most
I
definitely.
think that's a good comparison.
It definitely is. We talked about this in the last show, and I listened to it, and we talked about how kinky Batman was.
Batman is a dirtbag.
Yeah.
Clark
Batman
is trash, but
Batman likes pain. He has slave back, and his woman is Catwoman,
Oh no, it's
who likes scratching and clawing and
it's
fighting and aggressively.
it's some terrible shit goes on.
Absolutely.
Clark, on the other hand, Clark only fucked 2 ways, up and
No.
down. So that's it. Other than that, yeah.
I feel like Clark just lets Lois ride him, and he just
Trash.
Okay, but I have to say, since we are talking about kink, right? There are a lot of individuals who do have powerful positions in their day job. Right? Let's say Superman, a powerful position in your day job. And when it gets to the intimacy, they just want somebody to take full control. I mean, I'm not down for that. If I'm fucking Superman, he better be doing hella tricks and,
Nah, yo, the way you describe this sound like damn, nigga, Clark take like kryptonite straps. Yeah, yo. Like
I'm about to say, I think he does it out of fear. I don't think he does that out of like.
I think he just inexperienced. Like I think he grew up in Smallville. Like you got to think like Bruce been traumatized since 11. He was going to boarding school. He was beating up niggas in like Taiwan at like 22. He's fucked terrible women all across the planet. But like, Clark grew up in like Kansas.
Cornfields.
Yeah, and I think he fucked Lois because if he was to fuck Wonder Woman, he'd come fast. Like Lois got regular human pussy. So like with a Kryptonian dick, he destroyed that shit. But if he felt like if a woman pull up, that's like I'm super powered too, nigga, he'd be like,
she would have to ask him what his safe word is for
pretty
sure.
much, most definitely. I feel
Wonder
like she
Woman's a
has
fucking
regular subpar. Because what nobody chasing down Lois?
Hell nah.
Kent /
Lois probably don't even suck dick good.
Probably not.
Yeah, and
like Superman was the only one chasing her
I
down.
just feel like Lois been like, walking through life and like I'm the reporter, and like she just at no point in time was she ever just like, hey man, you could just like be chill. Like she's been just fucking dead strong.
Right.
Yeah.
Lois definitely has like white privilege energy.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, she's a Karen energy.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most
She's
definitely.
a reporter. Hello.
Most nosy white woman.
I mean, she's a Karen with the actual like credentials to be a fucking Karen.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Man, no, fuck that.
Bruce and Catwoman is like, nigga, fuck me in this alley. Like, there's bums,
Okay.
right? Yeah, there's
For
bums.
real.
Yeah, there's bums throwing up. We just beat up people. We're bleeding. Let's fuck.
Kick that needle to the side.
Yeah, it's nasty, yo. Put them fucking weird things to the side.
Shout out to Juju. Juju said in my chat, Lois was a tip sucker.
Exactly. Meanwhile, fucking Catwoman's like, put that battering in my ass, nigga. Like, yeah, let's fucking do this.
My weapon to fight crime is a whip.
Oh yeah.
You think I'm not using that?
Right.
Yeah, Lois be like, nigga, hang me off the side of this building. and just hope.
Let me put this pen in your ass.
Yes. Yep.
Rick, who else we got in the chat?
We also got Ray. She's saying, y'all know I gotta show some love to my faves with the heart emojis.
We love Ray. God damn, we love Ray. Right? Do we not feel that way? Like, damn, we love Ray. Fuck.
Goddamn right.
Yeah. So let's get to it because I've been really excited to have you guys back because you guys make my pussy heart beat in all the ways. And mainly because I love listening to men that just have really important conversations like that make me stretch and grow my perspective. Like that's the fucking jam. Yes.
Perspective.
Yes, I said stretch.
Yeah, but I thought you said perspective.
I'm trying to manifest here. Read the coded language.
Stretch me out, daddy. Spread me open.
I prefer take me deeper, daddy.
Oh, there you go. There it is.
That's why when you said deeper as a safe word, I'm like, nope, definitely not.
Because I mean all of that shit.
That will definitely not work. And I also want to tell you guys that I found out about Kinktober while listening to your show last year.
Wonderful.
I was listening to your show and you're like, it's Kinktober, flag, fly your freak flag, do all the thing. Like so I have learned so much from you guys and I just, it makes me happy to have you guys here. And y'all the daddies. There's no one else that I can go this deep with than the two of you. So
Giggity.
let's get it.
Yeah, take that, fucking Jason Momoa. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna name someone from the network.
Oh no, yeah, my bad. Y'all cool.
Excuse me. Okay, so this leads us to the topic of the night, which is basically kink. We're still in Kinktober. And I know that you all came on this show to be deplorable and to share with us your results of the BDM test that you guys took. The listeners know what that is. It is linked in my bio. It is a BDSM quiz, and it's actually called like the sexual deviance quiz. So I wanted to ask you guys if there was anything from taking the quiz that surprised you.
To be honest, no.
Yeah, not really.
I don't think anything surprised me. I think the one thing that I could take away that may surprise me a little bit is I forget how many subcultures or many communities are within the kink culture. So I may know a little bit of the ones that I pay attention to or have participated in, but I forget all the extra ones. It's like, oh, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Too. Damn, I forgot.
There's a lot. And some of the guests that I've had who are really deep into kink, like this was a vanilla like BDSM quiz for them. So for me, I was like, holy shit, what is this? But for them, they were like, bitch, this quiz, this is what you had me take. So again, just going to say that like the realm of kink is what?
Who are these friends?
Oh,
and every times I be thinking that, but then I be realizing like there are people who are like fucking what was that shit on like American Dad where like Stan like opened up his kink fucking
absolutely,
and it would just be like I just know that there's somebody somewhere be like I'm a nasty motherfucker, and then I find somebody be like, hey, why would you do that? Like, what is that? Why is that? Like I'm like I just completely missed the sex part of it. Like
absolutely,
what the fuck? What is we doing this for?
It gives them some sort of pleasure and arousal, but that just goes to show like you may think the kink community is really small, but there's so many people out there that express themselves differently when they feel they're in a safe space in the bedroom.
Y'all wasn't outside when Tumblr was hot. It's people doing shit.
Oh, I mean, I'm on Reddit, so Reddit is new Tumblr.
Okay, I need to get me on Reddit. Where have I been?
I don't know, but
I feel I'm always behind like on those trends. The person I'm referring to is actually the guest I had on my last episode, who is a pastor, but is also very prominent in the kink and BDSM community. Yeah.
Jesus.
No, Jesus is a cock blogger.
I'm gonna baptize you. It ain't gonna be in water, baby.
Okay, so nothing surprised either one of you from taking the quiz. So I want to know like what your top 3 were. DC, you sent me yours, and we were like right on the compatibility with the top 3. Do you want to share with our audience what your top 3 was?
I remember, I think, because I just looked at that too long ago. I forgot the third, but I think the first one was Switch.
Yes.
The second one was Voyeur. And I forget what the third one was.
The third one was non-monogamy.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep. Those were my top 3 also.
Word.
Not in that order. My number 1 was non-monogamy.
Word.
And it's for me, it's because specific to like sex, I'm somebody who is like, if there's something that I can't fulfill a fantasy or something that you want to do or try, I'm not going to stop you from finding that somewhere else.
Absolutely.
But because I was also a voyeur, I'm going to be there watching. So that was mine. Non-monogamy was the first one. And then I was Switch. And then was it voyeur? Voyeur and then experimentalist. Yeah, which I think was your top 4 too.
That might be.
So I was like, "Ooh, look at DC and I have."
I mean, he could whatever.
Yeah, what do you got? What's your top 3?
I think my top. I got 3. It was exhibitionist, voyeur, primal, and then non-monogamous was my 4th one.
Oh, talk to me about primal.
I don't really know.
Well, dominant. That would
Savagery.
Make sense. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, like
hate fucking.
You're hunting prey.
Yeah, but see, because when it says hunt, I be just like, because I'm good on like, so what we do it, and then it'd be like, you need to chase the bitch gone. But if we're in the midst of fucking, like, yeah, I'm in here, like I'm here for Yeah, like don't fuck around with it. I don't like any of that. Like even when like like people like I like the soft shit, but at some point like just I'm gonna just like I'm gonna grab this motherfucker a little bit. Like work your traps out. Like you ever seen like the traps flex in their back? Yeah, they're like, oh look at you with this little small back muscle. You strong, bitch. Yeah, hold that real quick though.
Absolutely.
Or when you
trap muscles.
When you hit the froggy thing. Like hit it from the back, and I'm like, boy, this froggy motherfucker. Let me hold these motherfucking shoulders. Crunch this motherfucker.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, it's fun to pretzel. Like just being able to like.
You got to put her in not the walls of Jericho. What was that shit? You know that move where they like fish hook them?
Oh,
that
shit. There's so many. It's like Boston crab. There's the.
I am learning so much right now.
I know what you're talking about.
Like if you from the bike,
and
then you
put your fingers in her mouth and you like pull her mouth.
Yeah, but you gotta. But it's not just from the back. You like if you get like in the little frog position, so you plant your feet, and then you like and if you can get like you got a little length, grab the throat, and then you just can like you could do both. It's like a what was that fucking shit? Like a bop it. Because you can pull you push. Yeah, it just is like a push motion. Motherfucker like motherfucker that turned into an accordion. And you're like, yes. Yep.
I am so happy that my children do not own a Bop It because I would have to come home and just bring it to my room immediately.
Yeah, just vibrate. There's so many things to just tap and smack and pull and flick.
Where were you guys with the Switch? I feel like you were top on the Switch too. Yeah. Look at me wanting all the deets. Ricky, what about you? Do you remember? I remember. I know you're a voyeur.
Voyeur was my top 3.
Rick was a voyeur. I learned that about him. I've known him over 20 years. I didn't know
show me this shit. I want to watch all of it. Show me this shit.
Yeah, that's how you learn, right?
Make your asshole wink in the camera for me.
Dead ass. No, like if I like, why you shut up? Spread them. We here now. Like you don't think you think niggas really be looking at you think all the motherfuckers you fucked and nigga ain't never looked down and been like, wow, look at that motherfucker right there.
Absolutely.
Cute asshole. Like
I mean, so yeah, that's the thing because for me it's like you would hope that they're gonna be that engaged. You know, that they're going to be looking at you in all those ways and I mean, how are you not going to look?
Absolutely.
That is like a pleasure portal.
I got to look because I want to see what I'm going to plug later.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you.
I want to make sure ain't no tissue crustlets left in there. Also. got a little something there. Which leads me to my next point. Make sure you guys like people in general. Like I'm saying manscape because I'm a man, but like do some cultivating down there. Make sure everything's nice and smooth because those hairs leave dingleberries. You don't want that. That's not sexy when it comes to kinky time.
It is not.
Men and women. Make sure that you like put your leg up on the counter, use a razor, electric or whatever, and smooth that thing out, please.
Or wax,
Or wax.
Yeah, waxing is not painful at all in that area. No.
Oh, Kelly Clarkson.
Listen,
talking about it's not painful.
Somebody earlier today was asking me what it was like to get waxed. And I was like, listen, your ass does not hurt at all. It's like not painful, like one bit. But the rest of it is painful. And I thought exactly of that scene. I'm like, yo, Kelly Clarkson.
I feel like it would depend because if we're talking about kink, there's wax and kink as well. But there's two different types of wax. Now, wax
tell about different types of wax.
No, it's like the same wax that you use to get your hair pulled to be smoother. It's not the same type of wax you may use sexually, like candle.
Oh,
wax.
right. No, of course not.
Which that feels good, like the burning itch sensation feels good.
I've never tried that, but I was literally talking to someone today about collaborating for like a candle that's like CBD infused, also like for sex play, because I feel like, oh, your trap's hurting. Like, come over here. I got a candle for you.
It off of waxing. That's her shit.
Waxing hurts so good. Like she creaming her shorts right now. Like,
melt my shit.
I can't wait till Saturday. I got an appointment right now, baby.
Oh man, I love that.
See, I be feeling like what my face feel like when I shave down. I be like, man, my asshole is this smooth. Just be some aerodynamic shit.
It feels wonderful.
Sheesh.
Like having your cheeks be nice and smooth. You feel like you take better, just like even I know we talk about kink, but even bowel movements, it just feels
Yes.
Yeah, see, I never I'm not a super hairy person, so I've never thought about it. But I was like, man,
I have to agree with you though, because I'm same. Like I'm not a super hairy person, but the first time that I did it, I just like I
let me
felt
sit on this shit over
I
here.
felt new. Like I felt really good. Like, I remember talking to a friend and I was like, she's like, what are you doing this weekend? I'm like, bitch, I'm getting waxed. And she's like, oh, are you meeting someone? I was like, no, I'm treating myself because it feels so good and so nice. And I love it. If y'all want to contribute to the GoFundMe to get me waxed, hit me up in the chat, baby. This makes me really happy to have men on the show that are just so open to talk about all of these things. I love it. And I do want to touch on the mental health perspective around kink. I had to because, this is the other world that you guys live in. And I value your perspective. And so we know that society's general consensus when it comes to kink or BDSM is that it's taboo. I guess that's basically the definition, right? But that it's abnormal in some ways. And it wasn't until fairly recently, I think it was like 2010, that it was removed from the DSM.
Damn, there should be a book like that.
The BDSM?
Yeah, the BDSM like post. It's mad kinks and shit.
Absolutely.
Right. For those of you guys who don't know, the DSM is like the diagnostic manual for mental illness.
Yes.
And again, not until about 2010, kinks and fetishes were there and they were considered either like a pathology or a marker for mental illness. And so I wanted to get your thoughts on that. Like, what do y'all think about the fact that it was in the DSM and now I'm sure there's parts that are still there.
Right.
You guys would know more about that.
I would say, at least the first thing that comes to mind is that's mad contradictory. Because when we think of mental health as we know it today, although we are advocates and practitioners of, mental health professionalism, so to speak, it's a field that was coined and created by white people, right? They created a lot of the narratives behind these different diagnoses. But they're also the biggest perpetuators of the things that they are diagnosing. So if we think about when it comes to savagery or whatever negative mindsets that may come to mind because of kink behavior, the dungeons, the whips, the chains, the torture, the stereotypical stuff, they were the biggest perpetuators of torturing, maiming, dismembering, all different types of people. So the same very thing that you did in the name of science or in the name of religion, or in the name of justice, because it was punishment if you committed a crime, but you also demonize it for other people, but then you do it in silent or, in secret by yourself. So it's contradictory. It should be just as free as open as anything else. That's what I attribute to. I attribute to the demonization of it being something that historically white people have done in our society. Like it's not good for you to do that. Meet me out back.
Right. But we've been doing it behind closed doors,
Not doing it. We are the
creators.
Because you go to these old castles in different European countries and different Spaniard countries and things of that nature. What do you see? Oh, they all have a dungeon.
Yes.
They all had chains. They all had cells. They all had the same things that people use when they have these so-called kink themed photography or things of that nature. It's the same dynamic. They did that on a regular basis. They tortured people on a regular basis, but they demonized the Aztecs and the Mayans who did it like nowhere near as bad as them. Like we do this for a purpose. You do this
ritual,
for your own,
yeah.
You do this for your own personal pleasure. So that's what comes to mind. Like don't demonize it because it's super contradictory. They like doing stuff just like you like doing it. They're no different than you.
I kind of feel the same way.
Ditto.
Yeah, he kind of knocked that shit on the head. Like, yeah, this is motherfuckers weird.
We can move on to the next question. So I would say, like, we talked about this the last time you guys were here about kind of the best way to get in touch with yourself and your sexual expression was to release guilt and shame around what your sexual desires are.
Right.
And so I wanted to know if you guys had any tips for individuals that are out there that are exploring themselves and exploring, their shadow side, even like their desires, and they're feeling some type of way about it. They're wanting to suppress it, not accept it or feel what's the word that I'm looking for? Feel like it's a bad thing, that it's a negative thing. Do you guys have any, tips out there? Because we're always trying to encourage our listeners to, release that shit.
Right.
And now specifically talking about kink, we go into even like I don't want to say a deeper rabbit hole, but we definitely go to the shadow parts of ourselves, right? That sometimes we don't want to admit. Did you say holes?
Yeah, pretty much.
Holes.
Yep. I think you do what he did though. Like he just took us on this lovely historic journey of where you get the idea of this, and this is bad. And it's like, you just start thinking back, like, why do I feel this way about this? I feel this way about this because I don't know, man. Granny said I wouldn't get into heaven if I poked her in her butthole. But then it's like, hey, Granny, you was, I got a cousin that look just like Pastor Thornton. Like that nigga don't never be at none of the family reunions, and like, but somehow you fucking lying. Like, and you doing this, and the pastor was out here touching on all the young girls because when he was supposed to be out fucking, somebody said like, you're not supposed to do what you're naturally supposed to do. So if you just kind of, think about it as just a natural human thing, you're able to separate it between I want to have sex or I want to indulge in this because it makes me feel good, it makes me connect to my partner, as opposed to having some of these like maybe like reactionary kinks or whatever because I didn't get to do this my whole life and now I'm gonna go. Well, now you mad repressed. Like I got a crazy theory that I think that's what goes on like in the Vatican. Like you spend your whole fucking life not denying your actual thing, and you got the only thing out here that if your natural function is to touch soft or whatever, and it's like, hey, little, and now you got doing some depraved shit because you've denied yourself what you just you could have just been a regular vanilla sex nigga like your whole life, but you chose to be a weird, restrictive priest, and now you fucking ruining lives.
Right.
So
I had that conversation with my dad like 20 years ago. Like we gotta let priests have sex because they're fucking their shit up. And I think that to agree with you, like that's where that comes from. When you're not balanced in your sexual energy and expression, you go to that side. You go to the depraved, illegal.
Niggas be irritated after not fucking their girlfriend for like 4 weeks. You mean to tell me you ain't fucked in 30 years? All right, bro, fuck that. You're insane. I want you committed.
Generous, because some people in today's society, it's like we've been on 3 dates.
And then that's crazy, bro. You can't fuck for 30 years. And then you act like God gonna be in the room. I can't believe you jacked off, bro. That's why the Crusades happened. They was mad as fuck. I'm gonna kill something. I'm gonna do something. Fuck that. Oh wow.
So you were gonna say,
I was gonna say, but and shout out to T-Berry in my chat. She said, I went to a swinger party with my pastor boyfriend years ago.
Oh my God, yes.
She might have been dating your guest.
Congratulations. Maybe.
She might have
or
been.
there's a lot of, kinky pastors out there that
Most
are going
definitely.
to play
because
parties.
they're human
for sure.
too. Just because I believe something doesn't mean I'm no longer human. But I was going to say, normally when we are getting told something, when we are shamed and blamed or fear-mongered into believing something, it's either because somebody thinks they're doing what's necessary to save you, because I've done it before as well, and I don't want you to feel how I think I felt, not giving you the autonomy to figure it out for yourself, or they trying to throw you off their trail. Like, I don't want you to... Don't do as I do as I say. Like, I'm sure we've all heard that from a parental figure at some point in time, which means like, oh, you doing shit. You just don't want me to know that you doing shit because you're trying to keep this particular image, so you gonna lie to me about it.
And you doing worse shit than me.
Absolutely.
I just like a little bit of porn. That's motherfuckers got a family.
Right.
Auntie shit.
Even our taste in porn is completely different. But I'll put a mental health spin on it to answer the question. What you say to yourself matters more than anything. So although other people can tell you how you should feel or how you should approach other things when it comes to sexual expression, what you tell yourself is most important. So if you're telling yourself, oh, I'm dirty for doing this, I'm a hoe for this, I'm this for that, then that's what you're going to reinforce within your body, within your mind, within your emotions, and it's just going to make you feel worse. If you want to be mentally, physically, emotionally healthy, you have to speak life into yourself. regardless of what anybody else says, if you're not speaking life into yourself, you're not going to really be happy. You're going to shame yourself worse than anybody else. So if you want to be free, speak freely to yourself.
That was so good. I hope you guys like really took that in, because that was really good. And this reminds me of something that you guys posted earlier today about being your truest self. And there was like a nice diagram on there. And I wish I could show it. I wish I could show it in the chat.
I was like, damn. Oh, but I remember that. Yeah.
It was kind of like, what would you say? Like a.
I like that.
When I said it looked like a booty.
It did. She said it looked like a butt. But it's what's that page? I think it's called Still Life. I like that page a lot. But it was talking about like depth, and it's a diagram of like a straight line, and then there's every step towards getting deeper with oneself. It's a deeper thing on the diagram. Yeah. And it was saying things like, kind of like what you just said, like
I got it right here.
Oh,
because it was so good to me, and it was so good to me. And when I saw it, I was like, man, this reminds me of a booty, because when you get to this place, when you get to being in a place of being your truest self, this is when you allow somebody else to deeply penetrate you as well. And so like the first layer was connections with intention. The next layer was connections when you're present. So connection with intention, that's probably like what? The tip of the thumb, maybe a little rub, maybe a little push.
Yeah.
I would say connection when you're present. I think, maybe you can get a little bit of the thumb in there. I think connections when you're vulnerable. Now we're getting somewhere.
I think you second knuckle on that one.
Yeah.
You can
definitely put a knuckle, and I would venture to say you might even be able to put a head in.
Maybe.
You might be able to put a head in with vulnerability. And then connections when setting and respecting boundaries. Like now we're full on in there, and we can get access. We can get some friction going on, I think. And then connections when you're at your truest self.
You fucking there.
It's you fucking.
Like you can hear the ball. Yeah, it's good shit.
Your elbow.
Yeah, I think that
I thought we was fucking in the ass in this analogy.
I mean, it could be whatever.
Yeah,
I mean, she's tying it into a little.
I'm tying it into BDSM.
Yes. But I think it's kind of like the one part of the spectrum is you trying to force yourself to be comfortable with it, to where you get to an opposite end of the spectrum and you are welcoming it.
Yes. Oh man.
Like instead of me having to like slide a knuckle in or ease it in or whatever the case, it's gaping open. It's welcoming me. It's dilated. Yes. Come on in. Like it's comfortable enough to just actually relax and let you. Yeah. No, come on. No, just one finger. Come on, baby. You got room.
Okay, I have to ask you guys, because you are anal enthusiasts, and so would you say that the people or the women that you have interacted with, it's something of this kind of nature? Because you're just mentioning the difference between like a gaping, opening, welcoming versus like, okay, we got to start off slow, get the thumb action, slow it in. Like what has your experience been? I'm trying to get a gauge of, my anal player females out there and like where I am in comparison. This is purely selfish.
I just want to know about my hole, baby.
I want to know where I'm at in the spectrum.
So is it how comfortable we are, how comfortable they are?
No, like while your interaction with someone, like what would you say if you had to rate like of the interactions that you've had? What do most of them look like?
They look like a spectrum.
Okay. I mean,
have some that are like, I'm completely against it, and you have some that are like, yeah, pick which toy you gonna use. Okay. So it kind of depends.
And then do you have women that show up with the plug already? Like
already in?
I'm prepping.
I've had a couple experiences where they've had it already in, or I've gotten like the the random picture of they're like, I know this here. The gym is in. It's like, oh, that's wonderful. I appreciate
with
those.
the gem
with
the
yes.
cute sparkly little.
Yes. I haven't gotten to anybody that has a tail. I don't think. Actually, I might have had one person that had a tail. I just never got to use it. But the tails are.
That's
wonderful.
what I want. I want a fox
I've
tail.
seen them, but I just haven't like
the tails are wonderful.
You haven't had anybody with like the tail thing, but I think those shits are cool.
Absolutely,
right?
Especially if you at work with no panties on and you like just take a quick little
and
you got that in on at work.
Yeah, I just like it's like what is like it's just as dope, man. It's like I appreciate you all prepped prepped and shit at home, but like that work nude is a different fucking nude, man. Like those are.
But not only that, like
camera,
I'm wishing I had a 9 to 5 right now.
Actually, I like wherever you at. Like if you were like, oh, fucking in the aisle at Walmart and you just send whatever. Shit. Like I kid you, I don't know a motherfucker on earth that's not gonna like. It's just the fact that this motherfucker nasty. Like, cause look at that. This is the Frosted Flakes right next to her. Like. Not to say the ones like, I got all dolled up and it's like great. Sometimes that's for you. But if he's like a real dirtbag, like, man, send that nigga the fucking titty pic while you are on.
By the Frosted Flakes.
Yeah. Got the anal plug in and she buying bananas.
Oh, yeah, she in the waiting room and fucking, I don't know, wherever she at that day. She running errands and shit. Like, I'm waiting to pick up laundry. They went in the back and it's like, look at that. Those little undertakers.
That's wonderful. You see that on Reddit.
I saw a really cute plug too that was like, was lighting up.
That's cool.
And in my mind, I'm like, can you imagine like a roller skating party and people with plugs in and they're like lighting up the place?
That's rave status. I've seen those.
This is where my mind goes.
Like the pacifiers, except it's a butt plug. I haven't seen it in person with anybody I've dealt with, but I have seen somebody.
I mean, there was like a stint between like it was like 20, like 15, 16. I went to a couple of those like little like festival shits. I understand the vibes. It's a lot of walking around. It's a lot of dirt. It's not somewhere you want to be sober. But if you want to like, I'm gonna indulge for a weekend, boy, they be doing shit. It's just like, what the fuck? This is cool. I don't know why, but why did you do that right here? We barely in the event. You just, okay, fuck it. This is amazing.
I feel like even though I'm in my mid-30s now, I still feel like I need to experience that a couple times before my life ends.
Hey, look, I know you. I mean, I know you are a very like staunch sober man, but all I'm saying is I'm not one for the other stuff. But I understand why it's like I've definitely like, man, what all these motherfucking lights for? All this. Get you some stuff, whatever you be like, oh, this is
different level of debauchery.
Oh, this is different in here
for sure.
Mushrooms.
Them titties
talking about
shit, boy. Them titties got titties on them. Like, yeah,
you got multiple nipples.
Ricky, what's going on in the chat?
All right, so the baddest was earlier saying Granny was definitely lying.
Absolutely.
And then Ray saying, okay, you better speak. And this was when DC was talking. So the baddest again saying a word. If you want to be free, you must speak free to yourself.
Yes.
With the prayer emojis.
Yeah.
Your granny was lying like a motherfucker. Because everybody like to, I just thought about like niggas really love to swear like their granny wasn't Margie. Your granny was out here letting a blind nigga get her cooked on heroin and put her fucking head in the toilet.
Absolutely.
Like, shut the fuck up, granny.
Everybody's granny was lying.
Absolutely. I've had conversations with clients about that in therapy. Like I've had some clients like from different cultures, their families were immigrants or whatever the case is. It's like they approach you as if you're supposed to be a certain way. And then they find out, like one client of mine, she just got small tattoos for the first time. And she's like, all her family was upset at her and like, you're not supposed to do this because we're an African family, just that and the other, blah, blah, blah. Like that's disgraceful. That's disrespectful. And she's like, and having these conversations with people and like getting past their emotions and getting them to calm down and like really exploring and telling them why she got them,
right?
Because we discussed it in therapy, which led to her saying, hey, this would be a good tattoo idea, which I'm glad I contributed to that. But like there's trauma behind these, and I'm setting myself free from this trauma, and this is a representation of that. Having that conversation with them, she found out like, oh well, your grandma had a bunch of tattoos. It's like grandma back in the village, the same grandma that told y'all that this is terrible and you beating me up from the same mindset that came from her. She was like tatted, and nobody knew.
Boy, Granny licked the sweat off Isaac Hayes' head at Watch Stacks.
Absolutely.
Nasty bitch. Yeah, like, I'm not having this shit. Y'all don't let your grannies or pops tell you wrong. They just some nasty motherfuckers.
You can
man.
learn a lot from your granny if you know they're willing to talk.
Your grandpa was out there hunting bitches at the marches. We trying to get freedom and he trying to get pussy. Like, just relax.
Yeah, I know Dr. King.
Yeah, I know you do, Gerald, the nasty ass nigga. Like.
Okay, so one last more serious question, or I guess a serious question is, what can we actually do to continue to destigmatize kink play, particularly in the community for people that look like us?
Some motherfuckers mind their business. I think it should, I do think that some of these pages I think just are kind of corny because it'd be like, look at our fucking lovely kink life. But I do think that representation does matter, and it's cool to see like, yes, man, like she got a butt plug in, I fucked her face, and then she peed on me, but we still got these kids at school,
right?
And that motherfucker's got a scholarship. Like, yeah, we're terrible as shit, but like we're a really loving family. Like, I punch her in the head only in the bedroom. Like,
right.
You know, like the shit just...
she consents to it.
Yeah, like
I was down for most of what you said. So the punching of the head. I mean, maybe lightly. I don't know.
Yeah, it depends on how you do it.
Yeah,
it depends. I've had conversations with clients about that.
Yeah,
but the where my mind went. So I'll go brother man status real quick.
Dope.
Let's go.
The best way to destigmatize it, in my opinion, is to repel whiteness. Not in a matter of hating white people, but a lot of these mindsets that demonize these behaviors come from white Christian mentality.
Yeah.
Which runs this country. Most of the conservatives and all this other stuff, they're super white Christian, which is not the original version of Christianity, but whatever. But they're the worst ones. But they do it in secret, but they demonize everything else. When you repel this white, because even like say Reddit, I talked about Reddit a couple times here. All the sexual stuff that can go on Reddit, if you look through it, I'll see a lot of women of color that have white men that are participating in these things.
Yeah.
They don't have black men or Latino men or whatever. It's all like whatever brown woman goes and finds a white man to participate in this with and put it on for display for everybody to see. It's like, why is it only okay and safe for them? Why aren't we allowing it within our community? Why do we feel like people have to run to someone else that does not identify with us? Why? Because we still hold on to whiteness being safe. It's not safe in our community, but it's safe and it's okay within theirs because they give us the ability to be free. They give us the ability to be okay with things. If they say it's okay, then it's good. So that's the immediate safety with them. No, get rid of that shit. Let your culture embrace it. It's okay. I can be full-fledged whatever my culture is and be in the kink community as well. I can be pro-black and kinky. I can be pro-Latin culture or pro-Aztec or whatever the fuck. Like I can be a part of my lineage and my roots and still participate in kink culture. It's just sexual expression. So get rid of that whiteness.
I will say that too. Like that, it kind of I think boils into us also not giving ourselves spaces to be different. Like if you are, if it's an outside of sex, if you black, you need to, you need to play ball, you need to be cool, you need to rap. And it's like, man, some niggas is engineers, some niggas like to fucking paper mache. Like he's 6'5", 287 pounds. And all that nigga want to do is knit and make t-shirts. So if you allow him the space to do that, you would also allow him the space to go, I like a finger in my butt, my nigga. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Fight me.
Yeah. And, I agree because even on, sites like FetLife and whatnot, the majority of men that are in those spaces are 1000% fucking white, overly white.
But they sexualized us for their sadistic pleasure. Like, especially for us as black men. You may have within the kink community or whatever, like somebody that he's my book or he's my whatever. Like that comes from our like disrespect from us. White men raping us, sexualizing us, raping our women, sexualizing our women. So they've done this stuff out of disrespect, and you can't allow yourself to do it out of freedom.
Yeah,
that doesn't make sense. Why shouldn't you allow yourself to be okay with these things?
And that's why I really liked highlighting the guest that I had last week, who was the pastor and involved in the kink community, because the dungeon that they belong to is I think he said it was like pansexual.
Mhm.
So all orientations are welcome. And when they have their play parties, the majority of the time they are solely for people of color. And when they do allow white individuals, they are like an extremely small percentage
Right.
of the people that are allowed to play. So I felt like, wow, places like that actually do exist.
Mhm.
You know, I thought that was like unicorn shit for me.
Absolutely.
You know, hearing that.
Just to let y'all know, like, we take all invites to brown skinned play parties. Like, we'll come and host and like guest pod at your play party if you want.
Look at that man over there fucking. That boy fucking, boy.
That's hip rotation, bro. That's Caribbean
There you
hip
go.
rotation.
Hold her fucking hair. Be a good friend.
Yes.
Hold her fucking hair.
That's
you
carnival
take
hips
that
right
fucking
there.
dick.
Carnival
Good job,
hips.
everybody. Everybody hydrate. You know, some water. We got water on the stage. And
y'all don't play, because you know that it's one of my dreams, at least I've talked to DJ about, is having a retreat
I don't give a
where
shit.
it's like, you know, we have a conscious orgy. So y'all might just be podcasting
If
at the
I
conscious orgy.
host the orgy, we are the greatest. I will fight. I'm tagging everything pod radio. Give us all the money. Like TGN,
All of it.
TGN has successfully hosted a live orgy, and give me my motherfucking check.
You might like
I mean, I'm down.
You might be like, it's a young lady in porn named Darling Nikki. She has kind of like a retreat with her. Like, she has her OnlyFans, and some of her other friends have their OnlyFans as well, but they also do like a retreat where it's like spiritual and sexual and all that other stuff.
Man, we doing contests. We can fire the farthest, man. Hit the target, man.
I need to be on board with that. And is her name probably like what's the word I'm looking for? Inspired by Prince? Because that would be even more.
It was.
My pussy's
that was her
so
inspiration.
wet.
She did a post about that last
Damn.
week. That Prince would inspire her name.
Please don't leave the studio without giving me that
I will show
contact
it to
information.
you. She pops up on my feed every day.
Oh,
it's good for her.
She pops up on the feed. Ricky, what do we got going on in the chat?
So okay, we got Ray saying I love how open you guys are. These conversations never happen in my circle, and very frowned upon, actually. So it's always enlightening hearing different perspectives and experiences. Thank y'all for being so open. And then a TGN orgy, she's saying, ? That's good news.
I mean, I feel like it was birthed on my birthday episode with Ladies Night, and Jackie asked me, what is your wish for like your birthday? And I said, I want to have a retreat. And, you know, I want it to be spiritual, and I want it to be spiritual fucking and nasty fucking and all of the things. So
a station that fucks together.
Stays together. We real tight.
We also have Maria Martinez on YouTube saying, hey fam, with the heart emoji. And then TJ, the Millennium Ron Jeremy.
Yeah.
Cool.
He'll take it. He seemed okay with
I'm
that.
in a little better shape, but like, cool.
I mean, yes, definitely.
Oh shit. Okay, we're over time, but you know what? Fuck it. It's our show. I got more questions for you guys.
We always go over.
Essential I always go over. We always go over when you guys are on.
We definitely
always, because we could fucking talk this shit forever. This is what I'm calling essential questions. Very important. When am I getting that dope ass dick back in my chat? Cause y'all dope ass dick showed up only once on Sexual Frequency chat. When am I getting that dick back?
Oh,
y'all gotta tune in.
I'll be making up names.
Chime in.
There was one. I've been a couple of times on YouTube, but I couldn't text because I was driving. But I'll pop in. I gotta remember to put that name because I'll be posting mad names and everybody's shit.
Yeah,
dope ass dick.
He be throwing stuff out that comes like at that moment and then forgets it immediately.
Oh yeah, no. The best times is when we've been in together, and I was like, "What the fuck we get in here? Like, who? When did I say that?" And I was like, "Oh, that's not me because I'm fucking just a dope ass like." Balls. His shit is mad professional. It's like just a dope ass podcast here, you know. And I'm like, oh hey, I'm like, damn, I said some real eloquent shit right there. That was amazing.
Y'all know I like to fuck with you. Oh, it's all good.
You disappointed her. You didn't hear the tone change.
I mean,
No,
She's
he
like,
said
hey,
he-
when are we gonna? And she's like, okay,
said
yeah, I
he's in
like to
there.
mess with you.
He
guys.
says
Like,
he's
she's-
in there, with fake names, but okay.
I pop into
All good.
everybody's shit. I just don't be saying shit.
You
all the
do.
time.
I agree. We do that for each other. Second essential question,
Mhm.
because this is some Lois Lane reporter shit. To bring it full circle, your IG page is now at 1,125 followers,
Mhm.
and you know what I'm about to ask you.
Oh, we got it.
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah, I just got
It's
it.
been done for a while.
It's been done.
Yeah,
but,
I got it. I just gotta upload it.
I didn't get anything in my DMs. I didn't see anything on your profile.
We haven't.
know?
We
Oh, I
haven't posted
I
it.
haven't posted it.
We've
I
had
like-
it
I
for.
have
We
the
recorded
footage,
it
though.
months ago.
Yeah,
Mm.
Ask Ray.
yeah. I just
She
have
helped.
to.
Y'all
like,
got it on your phone? Like, can I get a
I
special
think TJ
sneak
does.
peek?
No, it's on
Actually,
my
no.
laptop.
It's in our it's in our
like the-
emails,
the-
isn't it?
Yeah, like the Dropbox
Mm.
thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We might
So
be able to
y'all
put it
could
up on our
email
phone.
it to me. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the inside scoop. Here.
Absolutely, yeah.
Like-
I mean, that was supposed to be like something we throw on our OnlyFans just to get people to go to it and just to use it because we have it and ain't shit on there, but we just haven't made any moves with it at all.
But like y'all delivered what you said you were, because you said there's gonna be dicks everywhere.
That was-
that
that
was
was-
a pretty good TJ.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the TJ moment with him
Yeah.
just yelling out shit
Oh yeah.
and then forgot
There's
about
gonna
it, and
be
then people were like,
bags of dildos,
right.
Yeah.
dicks everywhere.
I mean, there's definitely skin. There's skin for sure, and there's ass.
Mm.
So you get skin and ass. You ain't get no penis. We ain't got enough followers for y'all to get no penis. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Just being real
Not
with you.
for,
I mean,
not for a $5 OnlyFans subscription.
No, if it was like a 20, 30,000 followers, then yeah,
Oh.
sure,
Mm.
whatever. Yeah. On OnlyFans, absolutely. I don't care. That's $5 for each from each of you, and it's 30,000 people. Yeah,
Oh yeah, no.
I've shown dick print on Instagram for free.
I've shown dick
Wait,
for free. So
what?
it's just-
We went through this last time when I showed you. Like-
That was your upper body.
If you look closely, there was some printed
Mm,
dick.
I
upper
have
body.
not looked closely, guys. They always give me homework when they come.
Snoop Dogg.
Dogs. Okay, and then I have to ask you guys, because you're all about music. If you listen to the show, if you don't, you fucking better, because what the hell are you doing?
Absolutely.
Every time you guys start your show, you guys put some dope music. You love talking about music. I love hearing you guys sing. It's you guys are just a vibe. So we definitely have to ask you guys to give us your top songs that are on your playlist. And there's two playlists. One is the nice, slow, and sexy playlist. And the other one is your erotic, deplorable playlist. What do you guys got for us?
Mm.
Is it just a bunch? Are we just picking one per?
I would say,
playlist?
give me, 2 or 3. What do you got off the top?
Off the top of my head,
Yep.
shit. You got to think we grew up in the streaming era of like LimeWire, FrostWire.
Mhm.
There's a lot of songs that have came and went through here that are stashed in
Your
playlists.
top
that-
3, like what is your song? Let's go with the erotic, deplorable playlist first. What is one song that you listen to or that you play to set a vibe with someone that you're like,
Oh, if
yeah,
I'm finna,
we're
like,
doing the nasty.
fuck,
Yeah,
like
we're gonna be deplorable.
Toot
Like-
booty.
like-
yeah,
Nah.
listen, like if you
like-
It's worse than that. I'm
Listen,
sure.
like I got waxed and I'm coming over.
I sound sensual. Like if it's fucking like you just came over, dropped the bag down or whatever, and it's just like yeah, like the work. Like I think the most terrible fucking is just when like you just didn't expect it. Like it's that big t-shirt pussy. Like you just walking around the house. And,
Mhm.
yeah, like
I feel like in
Yeah,
that
what you
type of
over there-
sex,
yeah.
anything could come on and it doesn't really matter.
that's
Like,
just like
you think about setting a vibe and it could be some like murder, death, kill. Come
like
on.
yeah, like especially if it's like
Really
I don't
in
know if
that
it's
thing.
somebody like you just like fucked around, but if you're like fucking with this person, so y'all cool with knowing
Yeah.
like where you kind of can go like, oh no man, she smell like that she don't stank, she smell like that's just you woke up next to him like
Mhm.
no you've been. Yeah, you could like that's where you get like some Jeezy fucking in, like you get like prime 08 to like 2012 Jeezy.
Mhm.
You know, it's like last night it was Chris and Ciroc. I was super deep, cash flowing, buddy flowing. Yeah, it's like yeah. He was talking about cocaine, but he was also
Right. It's gonna be something from the South with big bass,
fuck yeah.
and you're just gonna be going at
Okay.
it. But I'll say what comes to mind,
Yeah.
maybe that may be sexually charged.
Mhm.
This isn't the go-to, but it's one that comes to mind, like Ludacris Splash Waterfalls.
Boy, imagine like,
Luda.
come on, man, like you could just do an unnecessary like. You just want to just fucking. Don't even fucking look at me.
Oh, that's like mine too.
I'll throw my whole fucking. I'll
It's
blow
like
my
aggressive
side
car sex, or
Yeah.
or anything from you guys might not know him, but B King.
Terrible, man. That was
Filthy
such a
strip club music
Oh my
from
God.
Houston strip club music. Club God.
undergrad was such a lovely time.
He's just
Hey man, thanks B King, bro.
B King
is
Like, if
wonderful.
you're watching this, man.
I
you
just
shit.
I want to say when you said that, when you B King, is that who you said?
B King, yes.
The energy in the studio completely shifted. The smiles on their faces
Man.
was just like it went to nostalgia, and that
Yeah,
was
that's
just really
just-
That
great.
motherfucker had a moment in time. It was just terrible shit.
Yeah, you can look it up. We'll play some for you afterwards. If it's more of a sensual
Oh,
vibe,
yes.
I'll play stuff like this that doesn't have words, like certain chill vibes
Okay,
or
like
chill
lo-fi
hop,
kind of.
lo-fi type
Yeah.
stuff. That's more like has a nice beat to it. It's no words. It just is a nice mellow mood.
Okay.
So it depends on what you're going for.
It could be this, or it could be like some artist that I was found when I was doing some music search. I'm like, I like this fucking song. I
Yeah,
like that
absolutely.
fucking
There's
song.
a bunch of those.
And it'd be like, damn, I forgot this person's name. What's this nigga?
If anybody
Okay.
says anything filthy in the lyrics, I'm probably gonna like it.
I mean, you know who's like a good surefire? Like Tank don't miss.
Tank, absolutely.
Like Tank has never missed
Tank
in
is
his
also
entire
Tank
career.
has done me well.
Like
for
if it was like
decades.
if you just need some like I gotta fuck, like Tank will give you some.
Absolutely.
Have you guys ever been in a situation where you're having a session with someone, and let's say your playlist is on that like nice lo-fi, and then just something comes on, switches it up, and you're just like, "What the fuck?" Because that I feel like that
it might have
definitely happens.
I don't
I
think
feel like it might have happened.
I might not have had like playlists. I'm pretty sure I have, but I can't. But I definitely remember like, you know, you put on like a movie you don't give a fuck about. And like somewhere midway, it just starts sounding, oh my God, we need to bitch, shut up. Shut the fuck, shut up. Shut up right now. Like that's happened. Like, and then you don't be wanting to stop. So it's like, hand me it's right, it's in front of you. It's
Right.
in. Thank you. Give me that.
Like, where's the remote?
Fucking pass it back. There you go. Don't
Right.
you just go back to what you was.
I mean, it ain't gonna change nothing because like I can think of like the weird like in the middle of it, just have
Mhm.
fucking going to hit the two
What's
steps, let cowboy boogie. Like I'm
What's
still
that
gonna
fucking-
be in that thing. Like it could be
What's that
country
shit they
music
say on
popping up.
TikTok. Oh my God, that killer's escaping. You show the fuck in. Escaping like a motherfucker.
Absolutely. Like, you know, it's not gonna change much at all. But I say for me, I don't always use music. Like
Mm.
sometimes I just like, for me, like to be honest, like
Yeah.
the parts of me that still struggle with insecurity, like I
Mm.
want to hear you respond. I want to hear your moan. I want you to tell me. You better tell me. You better talk to me. God damn it! I want to hear it because I want to know. The music may drown that out. Nah, I ain't trying to. I want to hear it. I want to hear the pussy farts and all of that. I want to know that
Yeah.
I'm doing a good job.
No, yeah. To be honest though, like I've had music, but I really don't play it a lot. Like that's a good because you be like, you know, sounds is good. You have because that's really like how I've been like, okay, I'm doing a good job. Cause not even just like because I'm like, man, fuck what you talking about. Cause the first time, like, you know, that's when I knew like first couple experiences, like maybe like definitely back in high school, I was like, oh, I wasn't really fucking. She was making too much noise. When you hear that shit and it sound like, oh, that ain't even a sexy sound. Oh, hang on. I know what that is. So now, nigga, I'm searching for all that shit. Fuck all this cute shit, nigga. I didn't come here for that. And then especially when it's like, you know, it's different when it's like, and then she goes, we're here.
Yeah,
There we go. Because you sound like a fucking, you sound like you work in the back of bowling alleys now,
Mhm.
and that shit sounds like, you know, I'm stirring up
want
some.
to
Yeah,
hear.
we here
I
now.
want to hear
I don't-
all of
I
that.
listen. I'm all about music, but this conversation is like
Nah, yo,
You
you
know,
want to know if
taking
she
me-
sound like a seal drowning?
it's taking me
like, yeah.
left.
I don't get. I want
I
you.
like it.
I want to hear that.
Yeah,
I want.
cut this shit off.
What's the
nigga.
weirdest noise you've heard? Because I've had like in the midst of like doing my thing, I heard just like growling, like
Oh.
Chico
Mhm.
Primal. I'm like, yeah, goddamn it.
Oh my god, that is so
Yeah,
hot.
I'm doing my job. I'm doing my job.
Yeah,
Doing my job. Goddamn it! Like I
It's
want to
just-
hear that.
it's just when shit transitions from what I think if you look on what looks like sexy, and then it's like, nah, nigga, that's the shit that y'all would take picture. When that shit it sounds
Yeah.
like, oh, this is gross. Yeah,
Yeah.
nigga, you're a piece
That's
of
what
shit.
You know,
There
ASMR.
you know
go.
you're in it. You know
People
you're
like
in it.
hearing people eat. Why? Because it
Mm.
sounds like nasty
Yes.
sex.
It really does.
When it sounds like a
It's-
speedy
that's-
mukbang.
that sweet, that nasty, that gushy stuff. Definitely.
That shit. Mhm.
Okay, DC, you gotta stop. I'm gonna have to put a towel down in a minute, and this is part of my contract to not have fluids or nakedness in the studio. But listen, because it's my show, and because I give the people what they want, I do want to ask you guys one more question.
Okay.
You're in it. You're in the moment. You're fucking,
Mm-hmm.
and you're hearing all that nasty,
Mm-hmm.
that gushy,
Mm-hmm.
that good y'all were talking about.
Mm-hmm.
And she just looks at you right in the eyes and says, "Tell me something filthy." What do you say?
That I haven't done already?
Yeah. Well, what do you say?
I mean, it depends on what I have or haven't done. Because if it's something you want me to tell you something nasty, I'm probably going to tell you
Yeah,
what I
tell
want
me-
to do.
Tell me something filthy. We're in the minute. We're doing it, and I'm just like, oh my god.
And it
just
depends on where
fucking
we
tell
are.
me.
We just starting? Am I about to finish? 'Cause,
Listen,
like,
give it all to me. What do you got? Like, lay it down. What do you? Anything. Like, if not if
I want to.
I'm going to my fantasies. Let me rewind. If somebody that you're having a sexual expression with,
relations.
yes, tells you, tell me the fucking filthiest thing that you want to do to me.
Shit,
Right
I'm
now.
fucking doing.
What if you're not doing it yet? What if
Oh.
you
I want to
just started?
spread your asshole open and spit in it.
I did that.
But that's what I'm
Shit,
saying.
that's
That's more
good.
like it
You're like, I
depends.
did that
that's,
already.
shit, nigga, that's how we
Like
got here.
you said something. That's what I'm asking. Where in the? It depends. That's an early thing. I've probably done that
Mm.
by the end. If it's the beginning, then I might not have done that yet. So it depends. Or I could be instead of spit. I don't know. I want to watch the cum drip down the crack of your ass. Like whatever it is. Like it depends. It
I'm
depends
signing
on
out
where we
right
are.
the fucking out. I'm passing out. I'm dead. I fucking that is so hot.
I want you to blow cum bubbles when I finish. Like there's so many different ways that this can go.
No, you can
where
taste
are
it.
we
Oh
in
my
this
God.
process?
Listen,
Wherever I'm in, you're gonna taste the other thing while I'm in it.
Or spit it back on me.
oh my god, say that one more time.
Whichever one I'm in, you're gonna taste the other one while I'm in it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just I'm gonna go there and get you some of that. Just
Changing
it's nutritious. Nigga.
places.
I don't think I've ever been closer to my people at this moment. I have been with, oh my god, maybe too many vanilla because I tend to ask that question, and these are the answers that I'm seeking and that I'm not receiving.
Yeah, no. We say this shit on the show on a regular. Like this.
Wait, what have I not heard? Maybe that like recorded in my head somewhere.
It depends on if you're trying to
From
be
listening.
sexy about it or not, or too.
Right.
Because I don't think a lot of men are actually trying to be sexy. If you want me
Yeah.
to be filthy, that's a different response than trying to be sexual or intimate. And that depends on your
Yeah.
partner as well. What is your partner like? What are they looking
For sure.
for? If I have a sensual partner, she may not want to hear like, I want to pull it out of your asshole and put it in your mouth. Like that's
Yeah. See, well, you know,
you got to be
here-
conscious of who you're dealing
There's
with.
that's a thing too, though. But you can always evolve to that, you know, because I'm a very sensual. I like to start nice and slow. I like to build up, but I like to build up to the filth, you know. So it's like, yeah, we do all of those things, build me up. But you know what? Fucking tell me something.
Oh yeah, so usually
right
I
now.
just don't have I haven't had a lot of like talkers. We just kind of like do.
Are you guys talkers? I know you
Sometimes.
like listening. You like, you know,
Sometimes.
hearing.
Sometimes
the
yes, sometimes
confirmation.
no. It
I
I
might
may-
instruct, but
that's
not
what I was gonna
yeah.
say. I may
Oh,
do
okay.
more talking if I'm
Yeah, like,
instructing.
put that up there so I can move that. Like There you go. Put that right there. Keep that right there.
Nasty.
Move that there for the
spit it
eight-
back on me.
It's the ATM time, okay? So
Yeah, I'll direct. Like, yeah,
adjust your leg.
don't be messy. Like, be messy. Like, no, be nasty. Like, it's okay. I try to give confirmation to let you know that it's okay to do the shit that I know you want to do. Like, yes, it's okay to don't be
Yeah,
messy.
yeah, that's usually my shit. Like, if you think like, oh, that's girl, do that shit. Do that. Whatever. If you sitting,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I did. I wanted to. So whatever you said, you kind of didn't. I want to. So do that. You can unlock all that. Fucking take them locks off and throw them shits in your car, and you put them shits back on whatever the fuck you when you leave.
Absolutely.
Red, and you come in young. Do that.
This is just like therapy. This is
Yeah.
a safe space.
Oh, I love that. See, these are the best sexual partners
Yep.
for those of you that are listening, because it's like, I don't want to say anything goes, right? Because there's definitely boundaries. But when you can be so open and so in touch and in tune with your filthy self, like, it just makes things so much better.
Absolutely.
Would you guys prefer somebody who's a talker, who's a communicator?
Because
Aside from like, oh, move your head here, do the double tap,
because
whatever.
I
like,
like to hear and I like affirmation
Yeah.
and validation, then yeah, I want to hear something.
is that in line with your love language? Is like one of your love languages affirmation, or you don't believe in love languages?
I was about to say that's a whole nother conversation.
Okay, I'm just keep touching you. I'm sorry.
It's okay. It's the first time.
I literally
I
apologize.
sit next to you every time because
You
I know
do.
that you enjoy my presence. And it's
I
okay.
do, and
It's
I
okay.
literally apologize.
No, because
to-
I want you to feel comfortable enough. And I
Oh,
know
yes. Thank you.
that's part of it. So
But I did apologize to TJ too on Saturday because I was kind of rubbing on his head, and I was like, I'm sorry if I'm like sexualizing. He's like, no, you're good. And somebody later in the evening was like, you got consent from TJ to touch him. Why did you touch his head? Why didn't you touch him between his legs? I'm not gonna say who it was who told me
I can
but
come up with some ideas of who might have said
All
something
right.
along those lines.
Because in my mind, I'm like, everybody touches my head. Like, if it's like, if we're like cool like that, don't nobody get no ideas. I'll punch you. But like, people who I'm cool with, everybody does. Like, he bald. Like, bald head touch is like the thing.
I mean,
Right.
So
when
she
you
asked that, I was like,
bald
oh, yeah.
wisdom in your presence.
Right.
Yeah, when she asked it, I was like, oh, because of like a sex thing. I was like, everybody touched my head, but I was like, oh yeah, no, we're good. Like, yeah, like
I don't know.
You like freaky
just-
stuff with your head? Like for a woman to just like, I can't say lick it because that's pretty.
I've had that.
vanilla.
It's fire.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like, oh yeah, this is my sweet spot, but in my mind, it registers nasty motherfucker.
Or she
man.
just like wants to grind her vagina on your head, like
Oh,
before you shave it, like it's got a little stubble, and she just wants to
Mm.
like.
If
The
that's
texture?
if that's her shit, it's not like I'd be like, yeah, put your pussy on, man. But if you like,
right.
that's my shit, I'm like, all right, nigga, like
If you a squirter, I'm okay with that.
that'd be fire. I'd be here for that.
Oh, to have someone squirt on your head.
You like
That
all the
is-
fluids.
That's a realm that I have not yet mastered, but I'm working on it. I got some tools to support me in that. Yeah, there's something about a bald head, especially when it like sweats and just drips down on your body, that most people are like, that's fucking disgusting. And I'm like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, that's
like
a turn off.
fucking hot.
Oh, please.
Like there's sweat on your body.
Yeah,
How
don't do
is
that.
Like what?
And I've had that sometimes in the midst of sex. You're like, you're sweating. Like, wipe that off. It's like, what? This salt water, man. You better. I just had your whole foot in my mouth while I'm stroking, and you worried about my sweat. Come on now, knock
Yeah,
it off.
no.
I've licked your whole asshole. And you worried about some
And
sweat.
you tasted it, bitch.
Right.
better
You
taste
kissed me afterwards, nasty motherfucker, and you worried about some sweat hitting you in your. You should be telling me if my sodium levels is high or not. Like, is it burning your eyes? That's the only thing you need to lay off the salt. It's burning. Like, okay, thank you. I'll be mindful of that. I need a little bit more water. But other than that, what the hell wrong with you? It's just the least nasty thing we done did.
Rick, let us know what's going on in the chat.
All right, so Maria was saying her comment is gets up and goes, takes a shower, #hot topic.
Wait, but she said
but
something before.
Yeah, before that, when she was referencing DC's, she said, "Wait a minute, Jada has an OnlyFans page," and then
She's looking for it right now. Let's go sign up.
It's the same as everything else.
Subscribe.
It's just
yeah, because Ray was saying, we're all waiting for that vid with the laughing emojis. I want a premiere party.
I mean, That could be the pre-show to the orgy.
Yeah.
You know, it could be that video. That could be like your introduction to the stage
The TGN
for the orgy event. I mean, listen, I don't know about a TGN orgy. TGN sponsored orgy, I think.
Okay.
You know, like we're gonna be the, you know, I'll be the
TGN,
MC.
they get nasty orgy.
I like that. I like that.
they get nasty. Shout out to Keith. Appreciate you.
I love that. They get nasty.
Big love to you, Keith. Hey, Keith said he would come to my event.
As he should.
Yeah,
He gonna
said-
come to anything that's
he
attached
said-
to TGN.
Listen, he said that he would come to this conscious orgy. And Michael said, I'm not coming if it's weird. And Keith said, I'm not coming if weird stuff isn't happening.
Absolutely.
So,
Like, what's the
you know,
hell? He thought
Keep
we
it-
just gonna
keep
be in there in
kinky too.
petticoats with the Gregorian chant going on. What the fuck you think that this is? It's an orgy, man. What the fuck is wrong with you?
oh man, I love it. So Bald Wisdom has stepped out of the building. Maybe he got sweat in his eye. I don't know. But he had to step out and we are, you know, way over time. But I want to just, you know, thank you both. I don't know if he's coming back. So
He is.
so shall we wait to close the show out?
I mean, you can. I don't think he's gonna be out there for a long time.
Do you have any questions for me or for Rick?
I think the only thing that I could ask
Yes,
in regards to you, because you ask us a lot of questions about our preferences,
I do. Yeah.
but what keeps you on your journey to exploring more of your
Mm.
boundaries or pushing your boundaries?
That's a really fucking great question. And I think for me, aside from the satisfaction that I get with the pleasure that comes with it, it's the exploration, is being able to really stretch myself into these places where I feel slightly uncomfortable, but slightly I don't know if turned on is the right word, but you know, I guess, yeah, like it's holding both of those worlds at once, of something that is like slightly intriguing that I'm willing to explore, even though it makes me nervous,
Right.
even though sometimes it might make me uncomfortable. And I think for me, I continue to learn so much about myself when I do that, you know, just continuing to explore. I talked about this in a couple of shows ago, of, you know, because it is Kinktober, and just really exploring my dominant side also. And that has been a journey. And I actually, like, you know, I had an experience, and it was like, it was earlier today. And because I do it for the show. I do it for the
fans, man.
I kid. I don't do it like for the show. I have a great connection with this person. And I noticed that me getting more into my dominant energy, and feeling like I wanted to please this person in a way that they wanted to be slapped. And the last time that we played, I was only able to like pop him on the mouth. Like that was the extent. We had a long conversation about it. And this time after we played, I felt like when I was wanting to do it, because he didn't even ask me for it. At that point, I asked him, like, do you still want me to do this? And he was like, fuck yes, like do it. I still didn't allow myself to get to that point to fully surrender and release to that energy. Because I feel like there's still some stuff that I need to work out, because in that dynamic, it reminded me of when I was a child and my mom was very abusive towards me.
Right.
And so that's something that I feel like I need to like work out a little bit more.
Absolutely.
Because I feel like this power is inside of me, and I want to explore it, but I have a fear of going too far.
Okay.
So even though like it's something that this person is like wanting from me, to be dominant and wanting to be, let's say, degraded or, you know, hit or slapped, like impact play, there's this desire for me to want to do it, but also this fear of like fully losing control.
Okay.
And, you know, knowing that my tongue can be very what's the word I'm looking for?
Sharp.
Yeah. My tongue can be really sharp. And because this is someone I'm engaging with that I care about, I don't want to push it to that level where I say some shit that's like
Right.
goes too far, even though they're asking for it. And even though they want to experience me in that way for their own pleasure and their own satisfaction. I feel like I can completely get satisfaction out of it, but I feel like it would be unleashing something that I don't know that I have the capacity to control at this time.
Deconditioning. Like deconditioning
Mhm.
and like unlearning and relearning what's your connection to what pleasing somebody else looks like.
Mhm.
I've been told that pleasing somebody else looks like this, and that
Right.
conflicts with what they're telling me, so it feels
Yes.
uncomfortable. That was kind of like my next question was going to be like, how have you responded to adversity and discomfort and things like that outside of sex? But you kind of touched on it a little
Yeah.
bit. So my next question would be, why sex? Why is sex the avenue that you feel comfortable enough to be free or explore your freedom as opposed to anything else?
Right.
Why is that the avenue? Why not over here when I'm doing this or over here when I'm doing this? Why is sex where you feel most comfortable?
Most comfortable. Yeah. Well, one, I'm a Taurus. But aside from that, of course I kid. Aside from that, it's interesting because it goes back to what I talked about at the beginning of the show, right? Like going through a miscarriage and wanting to heal from that. I connected with yoni eggs and crystals. And so that's basically like a crystal that you insert in your vagina and you do certain exercises with. And that really opened up something inside of me that I felt like I had not had access to in the past. And that was really my sexual energy. And it was like, holy shit, like, what is this? This is really powerful. And it's not just sexual energy, it was just my creative energy in general. And I'm a person who I am really all about the senses and being sensual. I love to be touched. I love the slow buildup of something. I love the anticipation. So it just kind of went hand in hand. It's like all of these things just like kind of converged all at the same time. And, I had gone through a long-term marriage. I was like, oh, I got a divorce. I was like, this is a really long story, but I'm going to get to that. I promise.
It's okay.
It was like, I was like 3 years celibate. Like after, like once we went from separation, I was like celibate for 3 years because I really wanted to, know that I was working on myself before I got involved with anybody else in any form of exchange, whether it was sexual or whether it was dating or a relationship. And during that time, I really built up my muscle around my self-pleasure and what I was really capable of, the heights that I was able to get to with my own body. And I felt like, man, this is really, really powerful. I don't think that ever in my life I had been at a point where I felt so connected to myself, like my authentic self. And so it's a really long journey, but to me, like, and sexual expression is like, it's something that everybody feels their erotic energy. The way we express it is very different, and looks very different for everyone. Being authentic doesn't mean you have to like what I like, right? Oh,
Right.
Goddess is authentic and she went this journey. No, if you don't want someone to spit in your ass, that's okay. It's how you want to express yourself and what you want to receive from other people. But being able to be just vertically aligned in my erotic energy, which is my creativity and my sensuality, like that to me is just like it's a fucking powerhouse. And it has freed me in so many ways. And I think that that's why I have this show, because my desire really is to support individuals in releasing guilt and shame around that, because that for me has been the key to really finding myself and living the most authentically that I ever have.
Congratulations on your journey.
Thank you.
Congratulations on understanding that you control your freedom.
Yeah. And that you can heal through pleasure. That was a big one for me because
Right.
in my self-healing journey, I mean, it was like fucking years, right? Like I lost my mom like fairly, like I was 24, and I've been through a lot of grief and up and down and a lot of things. And I did that fucking the drudgery and, you know, the things that we quote unquote think we're supposed to do
Mhm.
to heal and to make ourselves better. And I found an avenue of pleasure to be able to do that also, to be able to heal and transform,
Right.
you know, myself and the things that I'm going through in life. So
Good. To put a mental health spin on that,
Mhm.
to kind of like drive the therapy component home, you're finding healing through learning how to let go, because that's
Yeah.
what pleasure is. Pleasure is release,
Surrender, yeah.
surrendering, allowance. There's so much healing that comes from you learning to release and allow, to get rid of the norm. And I think that's what a lot of people don't understand. Well, not just therapy, but mental health, emotional health in general. People, they hold on to things and they don't realize that that's what's plaguing you.
I dig that shit. Like, I have like a personal pet peeve where I think people do that. Like, even like, you know, with this culture of like having emotional music, because I know we talked about music, whatever.
Mhm.
Emotional music is dope, and you know it's necessary. But how people might break up and they have like a breakup playlist. You probably could have been like over this a little bit, or you probably could have worked through this because you just now are just replaying the bullshit because it's
Yeah.
just
Re-traumatizing.
Reprogramming. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Re-traumatizing.
I just feel like trauma and grief and all that shit, like there is no time frame on it. It'll come
Yeah.
in waves, but it's like I'm not finna go out of my way to feel more fucked up by listening to I don't know, insert whoever is your favorite artist that makes you
Right.
sad all the time.
It's
Yeah.
like being a kid that pees in the bed. Do you want to lay in it? No, it's uncomfortable.
Some Kingsters do, but
No,
not a kid.
There's a difference between like somebody peeing
Yeah.
on me and I want it to happen, as opposed to something happens to me.
Mhm.
I feel bad about it. I don't like it. It's uncomfortable, and I continue to stay here
Yeah.
in it. That's not what I want. So why would I continue to do that in every aspect? I'm grieving the loss of my relationship by listening to more sad shit.
Yeah.
You want to stay in this mess that you've made that makes you feel uncomfortable? That makes no sense.
I think you kind of like stunt learning from it too, because you spend the whole time
Absolutely.
like fuck you, fuck this, fuck the situation, fuck
Yeah.
life. And it's like there's probably a lesson in it. Or even if you was gonna be somebody who fixed it in situation, you
Mhm.
can't fix it because your whole time is spent on how fucked up this is, and you bypass like, hey man, there's a part where you like fucked up and you could fix this. If you fix this, you might make this shit better.
Right.
Yeah. And also like in a healthy way, right? Because I did say finding like transformation through pleasure and through sex and stuff, but you know, I did it with myself. I wasn't out there, you know, doing toxic things of, you know, just getting into situations of indulging and masking and all of that kind of stuff. Because I feel like deep down I knew that maybe I had a propensity to do that, like if I went that route.
Mhm.
And I definitely did not want to, you know, I wanted to get myself all the way right before you know, I put myself in the situation and to be okay. So it's every day, you know, prioritizing pleasure, choosing yourself and choosing, you know, the life and reality that you want to live.
Yep. And within that pleasure, there's boundaries, which are just as
Absolutely.
important as feeling the pleasure and allowing the pleasure. It's understanding the boundary that comes with it.
Yes, 100%. I appreciate the question. You know, I'm usually the one asking.
I mean, you know, this is what I get paid to do. So, you know, if you ask me, I can come up with some shit and it's going to pull, as you can see, it's going to pull some stuff out of you.
Yeah.
But I think that's for a lot of people, like we're all waiting for an opportunity to share.
Yeah.
So find spaces that allow you the ability to release what you're actually looking to release
Mhm.
without feeling bad about it. So that could be kink,
Yeah.
it could be therapy, it could be both. As I've said before, DC stands for dick counseling. Like it is what it is. But all jokes aside, like fine, don't look for
What does
things that
TJ stand for?
I haven't thought of that.
I'm sorry. Don't
Dick
look for things.
Dick counseling that's a good one. Though.
Thank you. I do what I can. I was just say, don't look for things that co-sign your bullshit.
Yeah.
Look for things that help you be more authentic.
And it's funny that you said that about the music, because literally the other day I had something that really just took me down. And the song that came in my head was like, back up on my bullshit. I was on, nope.
Yeah.
I am not back up on my bullshit. Nope.
See,
I refuse
I be
to
getting
be back up on my
I be
bullshit.
getting flack
Absolutely.
for that. It's like I don't dislike these songs sonically, but like it's like what they saying is not helpful, man.
Absolutely.
Like I don't.
It's
Yeah,
co-signing
Yep.
bullshit.
don't do that. That's what I was
You
saying.
had something you were gonna say though before.
I forgot
So
it. I
just-
think.
TJ, you didn't figure out what TJ was for?
Oh yeah, no, I don't have nothing for that.
Tongue. Oh, Jay. What could the J be
Yeah,
for?
what titty juggler? Like,
Let's see.
Perfect.
We got the dick counselor and the titty juggler. Y'all are almost a complete, you
Mhm.
know, y'all are complete.
I'm gonna come up with something witty for that.
Yeah,
I
It's
believe
normally
it.
pretty easy for me. I'm gonna do that.
I can't wait. I'm excited for it. I'm so full. I am so happy. Like, you guys are just fucking phenomenal. Like, really, really, really. When I think about like men that I want to be around and men that I want to attract, you guys are definitely, you know, on the list.
Thank you.
And you know, not just because y'all fine and handsome and you got good voices, but it's the whole thing. You know, everything that not everything that comes out of your mouth, because that would be ridiculous. 'Cause not everything.
I was about to say I say a lot of shit. I know
Y'all
I
do
say
say a
some.
lot
I
of
know.
shit.
But I say I know I say some shit that's got some. I say some gems, but also I say a lot of stuff around
Yeah,
the gyms.
that's why I retracted that
it's
real
like,
quick.
It's dangerous.
But yeah, you know, you guys listen to Just a Dope Ass Podcast. They are on Sundays
Mhm.
and
Almost.
Mondays.
Saturdays and Mondays.
Saturdays and Monday. We went Sunday this last week just because.
Yeah, maybe that's why I had it in my head. But Saturdays and
You
Mondays.
pre-recorded, yeah.
And you can catch them on YouTube too, because you know you want to see how handsome they are. So I appreciate you guys for being here. Last time you were on the show, you guys said that you were sons. Do you guys remember that? You're encouraging men to shine their light.
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
You guys were what did we say?
forgot.
Special unicorn. Was it special? No.
Maybe.
Some fucking
I
unicorn.
stand by that, though. It
something.
sounds
Whatever
good.
we said, it sounded good at that moment.
Yeah, I need to look that up, because
We'll make
that
it
was
into a
fucking
t-shirt later.
we do need a fucking t-shirt for that. But I appreciate you guys so much. I appreciate your perspective. I appreciate that you know, you're out there keeping individuals accountable, men, women, and everything in between. So I
Glad
appreciate
you
that.
said that, man. We hate everybody all together. It's not a,
Hate
it's not a
everybody
They're
equally.
specific,
equal
man. Like,
opportunity haters.
yeah, we want to watch the world burn. Okay, like it's not just one side. All of it.
Yeah, because sometimes you guys be on one track for women, and then you just gotta say, but it's not just women, it's men too.
Right.
Or vice versa, you know. And that is really the truth of it. And that's like the new paradigm, right? Like, it's not just one or the other. Sure, we've been conditioned and, you know, different, socialized in different ways, but
It doesn't make sense if your said communities want to work together and build. They don't work or build if your relationships with your partner don't work.
yeah.
So if we are black and brown and blah blah blah, and we don't like, you know, our counterparts and don't understand our
Yep.
counterparts, and you motherfuckers can't do shit. I don't give a fuck how many degrees you got, and give a fuck how many businesses you open. You can't go make a community without a community.
Absolutely. And you know, brown and black together, ooh, that's when you get a Miguel, baby. Okay.
Hey, drop an album, bro. Because you've been posting these weird fucking, I get it. I like to post the camera rolls and shit too, and all them fucking photo dumps. But drop the music, my nigga, okay?
He's eccentric that way, right? Like this, some of the shit he posts.
Well, I'm so
So-
tired of
And
this
it's
nigga
he
taking.
stole it.
So
yeah, man, I'm so tired of these
he's on
motherfucking.
shrooms.
Drop the music.
I don't know if you guys heard the episode with Said Connects, which is our cannabis show. The chef that was on for the first episode, she said they actually did like a whole spread for him when they did like a pop-up. And I was like, oh, hell no, Miguel. She had a whole fucking list.
I'm gonna
of
start pressing
celebrities,
Miguel the way
like-
niggas press Boogie. Like, where the album at, bro? Like,
For
today.
real. For real. Okay, let's go to the chat one last time before we close up shop, because Keith about to come and turn the lights off right here.
Ivawo Nicolette chimed in saying, such a good show and combo, so many gems and laughs.
Oh, thank you, baby, for tuning in.
And
We love you.
That's it. Yeah, everyone else was all emojis, laughing,
Yeah.
you know, laughing emojis and dead skull emojis.
I
and
love it. Thank
so,
you,
great show.
everybody, for tuning in. We appreciate you. Catch us next week, Wednesday at 9, Sexual Frequency. We're going to be talking about maybe some ritual shit because it's close to Dia de los Muertos. So let's see what rituals we can get ourselves into, Rick. We appreciate you, DC, TJ. So much love for you. Keep doing what you're doing. And, let's get in the chat and make this event happen. TGN sponsored orgy.
It's a retreat.
Yeah.
Retreat. Let's say that better.
Sexual
retreat.
freedom retreat.
Yeah.
All right, everybody on 3. Spread the ass of the person next to you.
Wouldn't that be lovely though? Come on.
But that goes back to ritual because before the retreat, you got to make sure that everybody cleans out.
Oh yeah. You definitely.
Everybody clean out.
There's
Everybody
standards.
eat.
There's gonna be
Very healthy this
it's
week.
not going to be just anybody that's going to come. It's going to be, it's going to be very curated. We need you to fill out questionnaires and submit testing and all of the things. But I'm going to stop because I could keep talking forever with these fine ass men. So thank you for joining us. We're going to close the show the way we do every episode with the wisdom of my ancestors, my mother, who said, play with yourself every night so that you know your body and you know what you like. This is Goddess Lore.
Rick Rock.
King Carter, Dick Counseling,
Chat awesome. Follow Just a Dope Ass Podcast. Listen to us.
the TGN Daddies.
Yes.
That's
The
a shirt.
TGN Daddies. Thank you. And we shall see you next week.
Peace out, y'all. Have a good one.
Besitos. Yo, I kept you guys for.
I expected it.
All right,
Did you
YouTube.
this long? Adios, YouTube.
Bye, YouTube.
You're welcome for the beautiful, visuals that we provided for you in this episode.